Welcome, everybody, to the 2019 Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. I'm Sarah Hokom, here doing your commentary with Jessica Weese. We are in the third round out at Vista del Camino in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. Checking out the action on the card with Paige Pierce in the lead, followed by Jessica Weese, Eveliina, and then Missy Gannon, a newer player who has made the lead card here for the third round. Excited to see her play. Lots of action. The field is super tight, and we're going to get to watch some quality golf here at a different course than we've seen in the previous two rounds. Still lots of water, a little bit of wind, and we're going to see how these ladies manage this monster course in the XL layout at Shelley Sharp Park. Hole 1 is a par 3, 318 feet, directly over the water with water on the left, a sidewalk on the right, and a raised basket to make that putt just a little more difficult. A lot of players are going to go for the hyzer off the tee, trying to play it safe and then pitching up to tap out an easy par.
First on the box,
we're going to get to see how these ladies play it here in a minute.
First up, we have Paige Pierce, and she's looking at the hyzer line over the sidewalk on the right side of the fairway.
She ain't got a little wide?
Yeah, that's a little wide, and it's unfortunately OB, but she'll be taking it up close to the basket.
Ooh, that's a tough way to start the round.
Yeah.
Those first round jitters, those first hole jitters certainly can come into play.
Yeah, I know this morning I was feeling a little bit nervous.
The temperature was pretty mild. It was still a little chilly. I think everybody's kind of got their long sleeves on still. The winds are calm. But those first nerves, it's tough to kind of get those fingers warmed up at, this is going off at 8 in the morning on
Next
Saturday
on the tee,
Up next is you.
Jessica.
What are you throwing here?
Yeah, I'm throwing a beat-up hole 3. So I know it's going to hold straight for a while, but it's going to stay true to the flight and hyzer out at the end. Threw it a little bit high, so I kind of lost some of the distance, but I will be right outside of circle 2.
Welcome, Eveliina Salonen.
It's a tough one to get to.
Yeah, typically you just want to put it up there and make sure that you don't go out of bounds. If you have a putt, you can take advantage of it, but the water is very close to the putting green, so sometimes you cannot even go for it. Sometimes you just have to lay up and take it through.
Rounding off the box.
That was a great shot by
Missy
Eveliina.
Gannon.
She threw the strike. Now we have Missy Gannon. She is sponsored by Dynamic Discs.
Looks like a defender in the hand, possibly.
And she throws it a little bit low, but it's going to skip up nicely and leave her right outside of circle 2. And we are off on the first hole. Here's Paige throwing her second shot, and it hardly slides into the out of bounds.
So she just went double OB right off the bat.
She went double OB. So she's looking to hopefully capitalize on this putt and move on to the next hole. And there she is. Luckily, her putter was right there, so she was able to get it out.
Oh, it's so tough to lose a putter in the water that you don't get back.
Yeah, and I think that it was a dark color, like purple or something, so it was kind of hard to see. And Missy taps in. Easy 3-easy.
It's lemon squeezy.
And here I am tapping in for my 3.
How you feeling right now on that when you just tapped in there? You feeling pretty confident? You a little worried?
I was kind of nervous. I really don't like the raised baskets out here, but I think that my Anheuser putt, favors it, so kind of take advantage of it.
Yeah, there's like how many? There's got to be 8 or 9, 10 maybe raised baskets.
I want to say somebody counted 11 if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a couple misfires by Paige gives the field a little bit tighter gaps. Now she's only got a 1-stroke lead going into the second hole. Second hole is 369 feet, par 3. really a distance shot that the righty backhands are going to flex up to the right side, hoping not to go OB over the fence, and also trying to get in front of those blocker trees on the right. It's kind of set up for a sidearm, though, as we see Jess.
Yeah, I unfortunately threw it a little bit too low. I wanted to get like a nice flex out of it. I threw my flat top Vulcan. Now Eveliina is trying to throw the hyzer around the right side backhand, and she turns it over just a little bit too much. So she's going to have an easy upshot. Missy Gannon is also throwing down the middle like I did, but she's throwing backhand with something flippy, it looks like.
Do you think that she was going to get to the pin, was trying to get to the pin and just early released, or do you think that that was her play to just play for the 3?
I'm sure Missy was going for the 2 on this hole. Everybody, no matter how far you can throw or think you can't throw, you definitely want to get a 2 on this. Yeah, she's trying to throw it in. She pulls it a little bit right, but she's going to have an easy tap in.
Eveliina with it's kind of tricky underneath those trees.
Yeah, if I was left over there, I probably would have tried to pull out the saw.
I love that you throw that. Wow.
And Paige capitalizes on this huge putt. I want to say she was right at the circle 2's edge.
And then she had to throw an Annie around that tree to make it.
Yeah, straddle
insane.
Anheuser. It was pretty
It's
awesome.
so difficult when you're not a normal Anheuser putter like yourself to judge how far it's going to flex Annie.
Right.
That was an amazing putt.
It's kind of the opposite for me with the hyzer putt. I never know when it's going to die.
Yeah. Each to his own, I suppose.
Here's a replay of Eveliina.
Look at that power.
She has a lot of power.
So Paige takes a stroke back there and extends her lead by 2. Still a very tight race.
Hole 3 is 360 feet, and it's pretty straightforward. Up on the right is the fence, and I believe that the little gully right there is OB. And this year they put a raised basket there, so it makes it a little bit more challenging.
I like the sidearm play here. In general, I think it plays to the whole shape a little bit better, but there's also, as is Arizona golf, there's always a hyzer.
Yeah, definitely a lot of hyzers out there available. I choose the sidearm hyzer flip with my Vulcan, and I felt like I really got a good rip on it.
Circle 1?
Circle 1, but still looking at that elevated basket.
Eveliina looks like, was that a shrike?
I'm thinking so, because it flipped up really nice, and
What?
she got a skip off of the pole.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it put her a little bit closer, so I think she's going to like that look.
Missy with the defender.
Just playing the hyzer. I think she's playing it right before the OB goalie.
A long putt. Probably a layup, actually, with that raised basket. Kind of
Yep.
makes it not really worth going for.
She definitely decided to lay it up and just take the
Eveliina
3.
doesn't look like she's laying it up, though.
Woo. Gave it a good run.
It's nice and that's good touch, She's running the putt, but not going to go really far past. Woo! Excellent.
Got my little Anheuser spin putt.
Got that birdie train started, too.
And Paige taps in her 2.
Paige looking confident in her putt.
Yeah. Missy Gannon tapping in.
And Eveliina, she's putting with the P-line P2s.
Here's a slow-mo for you guys. Paige has such great power.
So a couple birdies there. Just taking a stroke on Eveliina and Missy, and Paige maintaining with the birdie. Hole 4, 381 feet, par 3. Really tough to get to. You've got some trees to navigate off the tee, and then OB left, OB deep, and OB right on basically a circle's edge style OB near the basket. Paige up first.
Paige is going for the big hyzer, and
Great job,
honestly, I gotta say it's at least a 400-foot hyzer, because I know I cannot take the hyzer line and reach the basket. She just crushed that.
It's probably her bio defender.
I'm throwing a Valkyrie up the middle, trying to get the hyzer flip to carry all the way to the basket.
Circle 1?
I'm pretty sure I'm still outside of circle 2.
Oh, okay.
Because I think I threw the Sonic. Eveliina
Looks like she pulled
crushes
a bit.
it. She turns it over a little bit, but it'll be a nice look for an easy 3.
This is one of the longer par 3s out here.
Missy Gannon's going for that hyzer also, and she hits the boards and stays safe.
Whew. The boards taketh and the boards giveth, and here they giveth.
Nice little upshot for a tap in. Eveliina looked like she was giving it a run. Right off the cage.
Good look at it, though. Paige for 2. She knew she missed it right off the bat.
She kind of looked like she rushed it a little bit.
Tough hole today. And, well, always, but in this case, nobody got the birdie. We actually ended up having 84% par from our field. So not that great of a separator for the ladies. I'd love for them to get us a, I'm not sure. Well, I guess Paige and Eveliina and Jen and even you had a good look at it. So maybe it is an appropriate tee.
I don't know. I've never had a look at a 2 on that hole, I don't think. I think I'd have to throw it in.
Hole 5, par 3, 340 feet to a raised basket. You've got a Mando pine tree on the right, so it takes out the big hyzer. And you've got some sidewalk on the left. You kind of want to throw it straight up the gut in a controlled manner so that it doesn't skip too far left and right, so you can leave yourself a putt. A couple of those trees on upshots might come into play.
Paige is throwing a mid-range straight at it.
Looks like her gatekeeper. That's pretty far to pump a mid-range.
There is a mandatory on the right tree, and you have to go left of it. So it's kind of forcing you to either hyzer flip it or throw a sidearm, because there is no real hyzer option there. And Eveliina, I believe, is throwing her FD.
So she's going fairway driver there to take the skip out of play, throw it straight up the gut, and it looks like it worked.
Yeah, she pinned it. Missy going straight at it also.
Possibly a trespass.
She called it her popcorn.
Oh, okay.
It looks like popcorn.
Paige with a long look. Oh, right behind the tree. That's going to be a tough comebacker.
Here I am throwing the Star Sonic.
Were you going for that? Sort of?
I was.
It's a happy run?
Yeah, I was trying to give it a little lofty go for it.
Oh. That hurts.
And again, I think Paige was rushing it.
What do you think? Is it the lead pressure, the crowd? Just being early in the morning, not feeling a rhythm yet?
I don't know. Paige doesn't normally putt that fast.
Well, hopefully she figures out how to slow it down and find her stroke.
Eveliina walks away with the 2. This basket's a little bit higher than the rest of them, I feel like.
So here, Paige is going to lose a stroke, and Jess, you're within 1 now, and Eveliina also with the birdie now also moves to within 1 of the lead. This is getting exciting.
I just realized we have 2 on Dynamic and 2 on Team Innova for the lead card today.
Well, it's a battle then. Hole 6 is a par 4, 783 feet. This one is a daunting hole. It's a distance shot off the tee, another distance shot. Maybe you're getting a look, probably not. Most likely you're throwing an upshot from 100 to 200 feet to try to put it as close to this raised basket as possible. Circle's edge is out of bounds behind and to the right and to the left in kind of a keyhole style green.
Yeah, it definitely does look like a keyhole style. And Eveliina turns it over a little bit off of the tee, but she will have a decent look for her second shot.
I like that you're going sidearm here. I mean, I would, but I think the sidearm is certainly the play off the tee, at least.
I don't know. I saw Katrina throw a really nice roller today.
Oh, well, I guess roller game. If your roller game is on point, that's certainly...
It made me think twice about my sidearm.
Do you throw rollers yet?
I do throw rollers. They're just not super consistent.
Are rollers ever consistent?
I don't know.
Paige with that biodefender in her hand. Big hyzer. Ooh, a little early.
Kisses the tree, kicks her a little bit left, but she'll have a nice open look for her second shot. She's going for a big hyzer over the trees.
That kind of looked like her felon.
Almost hits the marker.
I think that's the 200-foot marker. Missy with her defender.
Yep, she's playing that right side of the fairway, looking to skip right in the middle. And I'm going sidearm, sidearm. And I release it a little bit too early. Tell it to get down and luckily stay safe.
Yes, that OB on the right starts to come into play once you get into that second big drive.
It gets a lot tighter on both sides. Left side and right side comes into play for that second shot.
Paige with a Marshall upshot. She needs it to sit. Sit. Ooh, is that out of bounds?
I'm pretty sure she's right at the circle's edge, but safe.
Great shot.
Looked like a slammer. Maybe up here. I'm not sure.
I haven't quite figured out Paige's discs yet since she switched. I'm throwing the Glow Gator just because I know it's very stable. It's always gonna fight right.
Outside the circle.
Oh, that was such a good run by Eveliina. And Paige capitalizes.
I like to see the speed of Eveliina's putt. I feel like a lot of younger players will kind of slam it in with, and end up having a lot of comebackers, which they may or may not make. But I really like that Eveliina has that good speed. Gives her the opportunity to run those longer putts without the fear or the problem of maybe missing that comebacker. Because three putting is probably my least favorite thing.
You and everyone else. All right, we got that big hole out of the way, and we're gonna have a long walk to the next one.
Tough hole. Nobody got the birdie on it today. 60%, and in fact 63% bogeyed. So Eveliina with the bogey was not the only one in the field, and simply getting the par is going to get you strokes on over half the field. Hole 7, we've just had a long walk to this tee. The opening shot plays as a righty hyzer or flat shot, a little bit of a low ceiling, trying to get it to land in the middle and not flex it too far into the lake on the right or the road on the left. Second shot is going to be another distance shot. Basket is tucked up on the left side. The sidewalk you see here is not out of bounds, and another raised basket.
And here we are. I'm throwing a Vulcan backhand, looking for the hyzer flip. Just wanting to land in the middle.
Was that middle enough for you?
It was a little bit left, but it'll be good enough.
Of course, with that defender, she throws that really nice little flip up. And perfectly placed.
She has a lot of trust in that disc. I think she knows it pretty well. Paige looks like she's going to crush it. When does she not?
I was like, I think that's what she just did for sure.
She puts it a little bit left and behind a tree, so she might have a little bit of an awkward stance. Eveliina
Looks like a destroyer.
Yeah, a destroyer would be a good choice. You just want to crush it over to the right and know that it's going to fade out of it away from the lake.
Missy's got a really long approach here, or long distance shot here, and just did not get her stroke right there.
And I was looking at this sidearm hyzer flip line over the OB. I'm looking for the shortest approach.
Eveliina with a big distance shot.
Yeah, she threw a hyzer flip.
Caught up in the tree. Thankfully, it didn't get actually stuck in the tree because the 2-meter rule is in play here.
And Paige throwing a putter on a huge anhyzer and just looking to get it close.
Eveliina that looked like a layup.
Yeah, with this raised basket, if you put yourself too far away, you really don't want to go for
great
it.
putt. Great putt. You were at circle's edge there. Or outside?
I was right about circle's edge, and I was debating whether or not to go for it, and as soon as I stepped up, I was just feeling it.
Paige with the birdie as well. Ooh.
And Missy Gannon, she
hurts.
had an unfortunate spit out. She has one of the smoothest putts that I've ever seen. Always very straight and very consistent. That was her one unfortunate putt. And a replay.
So Paige and Jess with the great birdies. Only 3 people in the entire field got this hole today, and that would with Vanessa being the other.
Wow.
You guys are kind of keeping it neck and neck there.
And this is hole 8. It's 360 feet, par 3, but is looking over the water. The tee pad is raised, so you're throwing down the hill. There's a little gully on the right that's full of water.
It's also OB.
And a sidewalk behind it surrounding it. So it's kind of like an island hole, and you really have to play smart or just lay up and try and get a 3.
And you were going for that, turned it over just a little bit.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a headwind, and I was expecting it to turn over, but I threw a Roadrunner, so it really turned over on me.
There was a little bit of heady. Paige with the gatekeeper, mid.
Eveliina, I think, threw the FD and just didn't turn it over enough. I think she watched mine and got a little scared because I turned mine over too much.
And that tree, that pine tree she hit, does extend over the water, so if you hit it, you may or may not end up safe.
Missy Gannon also turned it over, and she actually found a piece of land up there, so she'll be taking it out up at the corner.
So you chose a sidearm as your second recovery shot. Are you going to throw that tomorrow, or are you going to throw the backhand?
Most likely I will, depending on the wind. If it's another headwind, I'll probably throw a sidearm.
I like the hole as a sidearm. I think it's shaped very well for that. And with your sidearm, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but
Missy with a beautiful putt. Paige with a deuce.
easy tap in there for her. Eveliina. So did Eveliina, she took it up by the pine tree because she got called safe?
Yeah, she had it easy for...
She didn't have to re-tee.
I don't know if she got her disc back or not.
So a little bit of change here. Paige kind of pulls ahead as the entire card, except for her, takes the bogey. That hole has a lot of score separation.
It really does. Because it's an island, you feel like you have to go for it.
Hole 9, 324 feet. The whole graphic you're seeing now, right now, is actually the men's tee. We play from a slightly shorter tee that is off to the right, and we're throwing kind of it's more of like a fairway drive, kind
Low
of
ceiling,
gap
kind of a
shot.
hyzer. Pretty straightforward, though.
Got these low, like willow tree straight in front of you, and then there's the OB sidewalk to the right and water to the left. So there's certainly tons of danger, but at the distance it is, it's very gettable.
I want to say that Paige threw the Marshall. She threw it really hard, so we thought that it was going to turn over and stay over, but it hooked up nicely, and she'll be looking at it too.
Eveliina with that FD.
She puts a lot of power on it. Unfortunately, a little bit nose down. And Missy takes the hyzer route. I think that she was just going for a safe play, looking at a 3, because it's a good distance to get down there for a 2 look.
Did you get your disc back?
Unfortunately, I think it's still in there. I really tried to run it so I could try and get the 3. Wow, that was a great putt by Eveliina. She's running it down.
Paige for 2. Stroke looks good.
Yeah, she just
Starting
got
to
2
warm up.
birdies in a row, and I got 2 bogeys in a row. So she just
Paige is
picked
separating.
up some.
She is separating herself from the field at the moment.
Yeah, I found myself trying to get a little bit frustrated out there, but I knew the next hole was perfect sidearm hole. So I just had to move on.
Double sidearm.
Exactly. Can't let it get to you. Just
So-
move on.
Paige all the way at a -5, a 5-stroke lead on Jess and Eveliina, and Missy's still hanging in there. And that concludes the front 9. We're excited to bring you the back 9, so stay tuned for all the action on the FPO ladies coverage.